Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for 23 ABC News at 6. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. A local mother says she was yelled at and slammed by a Polo Ralph Lauren employee at the Tejon Outlets for breastfeeding her child. Her story of what happened and how representatives from Ralph Lauren are responding tonight. Allison?
And we will be seeing passing clouds overnight. I'll let you know what that means for the chance for dense valley fog tomorrow morning when 23 ABC News at 6 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. A 19-year-old Bakersfield mother says she was shamed and yelled at for breastfeeding her child inside the Polo Ralph Lauren store at the Tejon Outlets Saturday. The mother, Catherine Maroney, alleges the employee who yelled at her went too far. 23 ABC's Bayan Wang spoke to Maroney and joins us in studio with what she said. Bayan?
Well, Jessica, the first thing she told me was that she was acting within her legal rights. So I did a little research and found that in California, a woman can breastfeed in public or private places, no questions asked unless it's in somebody else's home. Now, she told me that the employee who asked her to stop was either being negligent of the law or was conscious of it and was just simply being rude.
She started to yell at me, telling me that I couldn't breastfeed in there, that there was customers around, and that it wasn't right what I was doing.
It started out as a fun day of holiday shopping for Catherine Maroney, a 19-year-old just embarking on the journey of motherhood. But she says a visit to the Polo Ralph Lauren store at the Tejon Outlets turned into a humiliating experience.
I went to the back with my son near the dressing room, and I was feeding him. And an employee decided to walk up to me and look over my shoulder to see what I was doing. I was facing the wall so nobody could see me. And then she started to yell at me.
According to California law, a mother can breastfeed her child in any public or private area except in someone else's home. Maroney said this is exactly why she was baffled at how the manager responded to the situation.
He was like, "I'm sorry that happened. All I can do for you is give you a 10% off." And I was like that just was mind-blowing to me that he didn't even want to really deal with the situation.
A spokeswoman for Ralph Lauren issued a statement saying, "We will be retraining staff because we understand the importance of providing an atmosphere where women feel comfortable nursing their children whenever and wherever they need to. We are also conducting an inquiry into this specific incident. Ralph Lauren does not tolerate discrimination of any kind, including against nursing mothers." The outlets at Tejon also issued a statement saying in part they are sorry for the unsettling experience, but that they have no control of what happens inside their tenants' stores.
One, she didn't know the law. Two, it was lack of training. And then three, I don't know, maybe it was just personal.
And she went on to say that she did in fact take it personally and that a personal spokeswoman for Ralph Lauren called her and apologized for the incident and that they were going to continue investigating it. She's saying regardless though, she's going to hold a protest at this location at the Tejon Outlets. She says her and about 20 other new mothers are going to take their babies inside the store and breastfeed them. And this is going to be a busy day here. You know, we're talking about holiday shopping all week here. There's going to be a lot of people there. She's hoping to make a statement for them, for the new mothers, and we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. We'll be there during the protest. For now, live in studio, Bayan Wang, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Well, a man and woman are behind bars after deputies found drugs and a rifle in their car during a traffic stop. According to the Kern County Sheriff's Office, on Sunday around 1 p.m., deputies from the Rosamond substation stopped a car for a vehicle code violation in the area of 20th Street West and Center Street. Officials say the driver of the car, 20-year-old Terry Salas, drove away from deputies, which started a pursuit. Salas reportedly lost control of her vehicle and crashed into a fence and stop sign. Salas and 27-year-old Brian Epperson, who deputies say was a passenger in the car, were detained at the scene. Salas suffered minor injuries due to the collision and received treatment at Kern Medical prior to being booked into jail. During a search of the car, deputies say they found a .22 caliber rifle, more than 1 ounce of suspected meth, and other drug paraphernalia. Salas and Epperson were booked into Central Receiving on numerous criminal charges. Tomorrow, the city of Bakersfield is inviting the public to provide their feedback and learn more about the development of a new homeless shelter. After community backlash, Bakersfield City Council voted to delay action on the proposed Calcott site off East Brundage Lane until January of next year. Council asked city staff to perform a cost-benefit analysis as well as look into other sites and reach out to the community. The city plans to present a possible new location off Brown Street in East Bakersfield, but says it doesn't check all the boxes like the Calcott location.
The size of it, it's quite a bit smaller than Calcott, so there's not as much potential for growth. For some people, that's probably a positive. I know some of the people that were upset with the Calcott site, they didn't want to see it grow to the largest potential that it has there, so that may be a positive to them. But for the city and for probably a lot of people, we want to be able to have potential for growth and also be able to have everything on site.
It's a story we're working on for 23 ABC News at 11 tonight. The new homeless shelter is said to serve the needs of the local homeless population here in Bakersfield. The city has been working to address concerns raised by locals through a number of new programs, including the construction of a new low-barrier homeless shelter. The open discussion will be held tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Jerusalem Church. That's located at 924 Cottonwood Road. And if you missed tomorrow night's meeting, there will be another meeting next Monday. You can see more on that story tonight on 23 ABC News at 11.
Well, did you see the rainbow in Bakersfield yesterday? This was on the back end of that severe weather that we were tracking. A thunderstorm made its way through Kern County. So we were seeing hail in some locations as well as thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. And then we saw this rainbow. There was actually a double rainbow at a time as well. But all that action is pushing off to our east. So we are going to be seeing clearing skies as we head into the overnight hours. So as you can see, most of that is banked up in the mountains and along the foothills, but look like it's clearing in Delano and Wasco right now. So that does bring the potential for reduced visibility in some of those areas. We are tracking a dense fog advisory in the valley until 11 a.m. tomorrow. So again, the same story that we were talking about today. Visibility could be down to 1/4 of a mile. So make sure that you leave plenty of time in your commute and make sure that you keep those headlights on, those low beam headlights on, and as much room between you and the car in front of you. So we are tracking this fog really for the rest of the work week. But when we have the chance to see our next rain event is coming up next.
Well, new details tonight. Golden Empire Transit is extending their ride pilot program through December of next year. Earlier this year, GET officials expanded the ride service area to include the shops at Riverwalk along Stockdale Highway and the VA clinic on Westwind Drive. Customers can book a ride using the Translock app or by calling GET at 869-6380. According to officials, you can also catch a ride by approaching a ride vehicle and telling the driver where you would like to go. The cost to use ride is $350, and officials say GET will continue to monitor the use of ride to determine if additional possible service area expansions would benefit residents next year. Well, happening now, you can fill your stomachs with a sub, all while helping the Kern County Armed Forces Support Foundation. The Jersey Mike's location on Stockdale Highway is teaming up with the foundation for a veterans fundraiser. From now until 7 p.m., 20% of all sales at Jersey Mike's will be donated to the foundation. The Armed Forces Support Foundation was established in 2015 and works to help veterans in Kern County. Well, Bakersfield College will also be honoring veterans. Tomorrow, a ribbon cutting ceremony will unveil the Vernon Venezuela Veterans Resource Center. The ceremony will start at 11 a.m. with a formal presentation of colors, followed by a flyover by Kern County Fire's helicopter. The center is named in honor of the late Vernon Venezuela, a Vietnam combat veteran and Purple Heart recipient, as well as a former Bakersfield College student. He dedicated his life to service others, and as he said himself, serving your country has no discharge date. Well, his online challenge had millions of people pouring ice cold water on their heads and donating to fight ALS. Today, we learned Pete Frates, the man who inspired the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, has died. Frates' family announced his death from the disease in a statement. Now, back in 2013 and 2014, Frates went online with the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It involved dumping a bucket of ice water on your head, then making a donation to an ALS organization. You also had to challenge others to participate. The ALS Association said in a 2-month period alone, they received $115 million in donations. Pete Frates was 34 years old.